We already started our project, which is based on Java block system, which I preferred name as Connect a Globe because I am connecting the people throughout this software, or we can say server deployment through JSP and Java servlet. So if you have seen, we already created this, not this page, we created index.jsp page, and I already coded some part. I will tell you what is the significance of this part. So this is the index page, which is basically first loading page or landing web page, you can see. Now what is these things, I will tell you later, but this is very important. I am preferring my page language as Java, not HTML. So I am embedding the Java code in HTML, you can say, throughout the JSP. So this is the beautiful thing of JSP, and ignore this. These are all the JavaScript where I preferred some CSS files. So if you have seen these things, okay, let me show you. These are the JSP which I am going to create. But if I am going to downward little bit, and I will tell you where I am using JSP here. So all these things are basically JSP language, or we can say these language. Okay, now you are seeing this not login message, everything out.println. It's basically not HTML, it's Java. So I am embedding inside this. These are the things very important, showing in a green. So the green part is Java, so I am using here JSP. Now why I am using JSP instead of using HTML? You say HTML is very useful, you can use this in HTML only. But thing is, while printing this message, you can see this, I just want to print not login message or something like that. In this part, what I have to do, I have to create one HTML, then I have to create one servlet. For that servlet I need backend, each and everything. Now I can create one JSP file, and inside that only I can use Java file, and it will load directly. So that's a beautiful thing, because I don't want to create index.html and that index servlet also. So I embedded this. I will tell you later what is the JSP thing here. Then I created one admin page, admin JSP, which is pretty similar, which is loading pretty similar. But one thing is here is, just ignore this. I just added this rm. It is nothing but just sentence. If you know the Java or HTML basics, I'm just adding this part because I don't want to add some imaginary part. I am adding just this part only here, and these are some images I am downloaded from the internet, and here you can put some things, then all the things you can put here. So important thing here is this form. Well, then what is the form? Basically add a login, admin login, process JSP. I am going to create action. It will ask for username and password, name as username and password to login, everything here. So this is very important, and I am including footer HTML to add that footer. And which is the footer HTML? This is the footer HTML, basically nothing but it's having some links, images, then something here like that only. So this is we all already created. I just added admin JSP with this. If you want to create another thing here like just only form, you can add this to give minimalistic look. I'm just adding all the text here, and I'm just copied that part only, so you can add that part. So let us see what is the JSP basically. So our servlet part. Okay, let me go to the servlet first. If I told you that servlet, what is a servlet? It's a pure Java code. You can add HTML inside that, but it's request server and response time, each embedded with this. But what if I can use only HTML? I can put that Java file on the network instead of putting on the server, instead giving load on the server, because server is also searching that file for that particular purpose. Instead of that, I can put Java file in the network layer, which is basically network is also having some storage capacity, we can say, or we can say transfer capacity. So I can embed that part in HTML only. So this is the forward method, include method, each and everything. Then servlet important parts I'm going to tell you. If you know the servlet, there are three important parts here. HTML, CSS, JS for front end, Java servlet program for back end or logic we can say, and web XML to control flow of web app each and everything. But instead of this, JSP is a Java servlet pages, basically Java language inside HTML page. So you don't no need to worry about web.xml, my file is added or not. No need to worry about that. HTML will take care itself with that syntax, or we can say scripting syntax for that purpose to link between Java and HTML. But you cannot use JSP directly for the database connection. Remember that you need to create separate Java file for that, like listener files or everything. So that's another thing. But I don't, just for fetching part, just for displaying part, I can use JSP. So JSP technology is used to create web application just like servlet technology. It can be thought of extension of servlet because it provides more functionality than servlet, like expression language, JSTL, Java, scripting languages, everything, transcript language also it provides. So JSP page contains HTML tags plus JSP tags, as I shown you before that part. Then JSP pages are easier to maintain because of servlets, because we can separate design and development. If you know, like let me show you this admin.jsp. There is more padding here because it shifted to this part. No worries. Okay, let me use this part only. So it's very big file, as you can see. So as you can see, till this part you can say these all the things are basically design, and these all the things are basic part of our development. So JSP is easier to maintain, or we can say easier to specify the gap between designing and development. If I am using HTML and servlet, what is the difference? I have to create another file which is going to store on the server and which is going to load. So it takes more time and everything. Maintenance is very difficult in that case. It provides additional features with some expression languages, custom tags. You can create some custom tags in CSS or JavaScript. You can use that directly in JSP. So that's a very huge thing. Lot of things you can do. But what is the advantages? Basically, I'm going to tell you. It's an extension to servlet. If you know the servlet, we have some limitations, like for the get forward method, each and everything you have to remember everything, syntax, each and everything. But here there is not that such case. You can provide as many as forward cases, everything. And it's an extension of servlet, because why I'm telling extension, you can use some implicit objects, predefined tags, custom tags you can create, expression language you can create another methods in JSP also, just like Java. But you have to remember, you have to give the syntax. What is the JSP embedded syntax? It's just that triangular arrows with percent, and you have to end that JSP to recall that HTML having some JSP tags. Then easy to maintain, as I told you, it's very easy to maintain. We mix our business logic with presentation logic in servlet. Like logic is basically development and presentation is basically design. We have to mix both. Like for the center part, each and everything, you have to put out dot and everything. Then fast development, no need to recompile and redeploy. I will tell you what is the thing here. While servlet, if you create a new servlet, you have to redeploy it again, you have to run it again. But in JSP, consider you developed one code in JSP, or you can say you developed one app which is related to your car booking app you created in JSP fully. And after developing in that part and deploying on the server, I'm not telling on this local server, I'm telling on online server. After 2-3 weeks, you understood as a developer you have some mistakes in that. You need to add one more JSP. You can add that JSP in that server part, or we can say deployment part. Just add it. You don't need to redeploy. No need to change your that .com part or URL part. It just added and it just automatically redeployed. So no need to recompile. Once it is very what we can say, there is no errors in that JSP, you can redeploy it again and again, as many as you want, because it's automatically redeployed in JVM or Java server. Similar, if JSP pages is modified, we don't need to recompile, redeploy. Servlet codes need to updated, recompiled. sometimes what happens while fetching the database, if you have null entries, the that thing's also showing the null. So it's if we have changed look and feel the application and everything, we have to redeploy it again and again. So that is means we need to stop the server, we need to redeploy, then again bring that server live. So instead of this, what we can do, we can just add the JSP inside that, and we can perform such actions. So let us see in the ID what I have created already. So this is admin, and if you have seen, I have put a login JSP. So let me a login process JSP. So this is very simple file. What I'm putting the admin as my password. You can choose any different, because I'm specifying this only. I don't want to specify uh, more thing here, and this is importing this part and all the things it's displaying. So this is all about how I'm creating this. But let me tell you what is the basic thing here is, uh, if you have seen this part already, I'm specifying the a status JSP. So I will tell you later what is the significance of this a status, everything. But always remember one thing while developing this, you don't need to recompile it again. As I these are the JSP files, you don't need to recompile. So what you are going to do is just here, just add that file in your project in JSP. As I told you earlier, how we can add these files in your JSP. Similarly, you need to add that file in JSP. Just recompile it, and you are good to go to develop your files and each and everything here. So this is all about how we are going with this. So in further videos, what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to create some files here, uh, and I'm going to build it throughout my project with some default things. I'm mentioning here some files you need to create here, but always remember, create all files, don't miss any footer file or anything. So this is the a status, and I'm using SQL. I will tell you what is the significance of this, why I'm putting the SQL file and each and everything. Logout JSP I'm going to create, I'm putting everything here. So I will tell you what is the significance of this each and everything in later part. So this is it, how we can create. So let us create one more JSP which I already created. It's just what you can say, showing the file. It's not very useful file because there is no logic inside this. But let me show you what is the file name. So specify the file name as area. Click enter, finish. So it will take time to create JSP file. Once it is loaded, you can see this file. Let me delete this because no use of this. If you want to space, I'm putting this as it is because I want to specify. I'm going to delete this part. So let me tell you what I'm going to do this here. So my thing is very simple here, or usage is very simple. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to create one I'm going to use one HTTP protocol here, which is basically nothing but some what you can say, package here, some templates here which I'm going to use. So it's nothing but just creating the objects, everything I'm going to create, and some I'm going to add some locations. So if you want to add more locations, you can add, but I just added only 2-3 locations uh, here only. These are the locations I added and which I found on internet easily. These are some random locations I added, and I just want to put this. So if you want to add, you can add it here more using or creating by objects. So these are the property, and these are the all the JavaScript things. So that's it about area.jsp which I created. You can directly copy this part, or if you want, you can develop this part. Part is very easy here, but I'm adding some functions here, as you can see here. So This is it how you can develop this part. Functions I'm adding, all these things are related to script, JavaScript. So if you want to add in Java, you have to mention that syntax, but I just added in JavaScript part for the front end. So this is it how we can create the part, this part. Hope you understand. In the further part, I am going to explain the main logic of SQL part here with the database connection. And this is it about this topic.